Well, good morning, everybody. I hope all are doing well during these continued crazy times. This is a follow-up video as well as a modification video on the Under Armour Sportsmask. If you haven't watched my previous video reviewing this mask when I got it new, please go back and check it out if you have time. But this is the Under Armour Sportsmask. They run about 30 bucks. And I have been wearing this one, not as much lately, and I'll explain the reason behind that. Overall, it is a great mask. It's lightweight. I think it has decent filtration characteristics. It stands off your face nicely when you're wearing it. You can see that the ear loops here, which were originally flat all the way around, over time they're starting to get rolled up and worn a little bit, but it's still staying on okay. The springiness is still there and everything like that. I will admit that I am a little bit disappointed in how these ear loops are holding up over time. For a $30 mask, I would think they would do something better than just this simple little flat fabric, but it seems to be doing okay. You can also see I did cut off that tag. It was kind of irritating me sometimes. I have washed this a couple of times, and it dries and comes out great. I basically wash it with just some Blue Dawn dishwashing liquid, scrub it real good, then hang it up in front of a small fan, and it'll dry out in about 6 or 7 hours, something like that. So, excuse me. What bothers me on this is something I touched on in the first video, is the nose wire. You get really close right here. I'm going to fold this. This is a seam, and then you have this loose fabric between the batting that starts in the mask. The nose wire is enclosed in here. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but it just seems real flimsy. And I apologize if you hear my dog barking. I guess he hears something outside. I mean, it almost feels maybe a notch above a twist tie that you have on a loaf of bread. And what's happening is sometimes when I wear this with my sunglasses and whatnot, I'm getting some fogging, because even though I conform this to my face, it just has too much flexi. So I want to show you something. This is a mask that my wife makes. She has made hundreds of masks during this pandemic, and yes, she does sell them, but she does not make any profit on them. Actually, I think overall we're probably several $100s, if not more, on the whole massive situation. But she's doing it to help the cause, and she tries to make a few bucks back, at least to cover some of her overhead. But you can see this one is done in the woodland camouflage pattern, and this is actually the Nyko fabric, the military fabric that they used to use for the woodland BDUs. And then she has 100% cotton fabric behind it as a backer. But her nose pieces are done really well. They're cushion, and they hold really well. And I'll show you what she uses. I hope I'm not disclosing one of her trade secrets. Okay, sorry about that interruption. I had a phone call come in, and I tape with my phone. I'm that quality level of expert YouTuber. But anyway, I was saying this is a mask my wife makes. Now, her nose piece, what she uses, and again, I hope I'm not disclosing her private information, is this. This is green tie wire that's used for plants. They use it for for tying back plants. Let me show you a big package of it here, if I can get it in frame. This is how we buy it. Garden plant tie, blah, blah, blah. But we buy a big roll of it. You can buy smaller rolls of it on Amazon and whatnot. And we cut it to length. So I'm thinking what I can do, this pocket, let me show you here, get something where I can do a fine point. Here we go. I'm glad I'm at my wife's craft table when I'm doing this stuff. She got all kinds of handy gadgets. So the wire on these Under Armour masks is in this pocket right here, okay? This is empty, And then this whole area right here is empty. Now this pocket right here where the wire is, I was thinking originally I was going to cut a small hole, pull out this little chintzy wire and put in the big one, but this pocket's way too small and I want to do this as minimal impact as possible. So my thought is I'm going to cut a small hole right here in this fabric. It is double layer fabric. There's 2 layers between it and the front. I don't know if that illustrates it or not, but there is a pocket in there. I'm going to cut a small hole in the back side and then basically feed a piece of this awesome green wire up inside of here. So it's going to sit underneath the little cheap chintzy Under Armour wire. We'll see how that works. So I'm going to try to do as much of this on tape as I can, but yeah, it's a challenge. First thing I want to do is see about, and I want it to be wide too, so I'm going to kind of see about how much wire I'm going to need here. Looks like that would do it. Give me a little bit of play. So right about here is where I'm going to cut it. Okay, with just a standard pair of side cutters. Now I'll show you something else we do on this, and this is hard with my hand. I've hurt my wrist. I don't want to show you the grotesque scar, but I'm starting to get some motion back in my wrist. But it helps on this wire to take your side cutters and push it up like that to get that little sharp point and cut that off. So you can press that back, and then that gives you a little cushion area where you don't have the risk of the wire. See how the wire is poking out right there? You don't want that wire to poke out too far because it might poke you on your nose through the mass fabric or something. So we'll do something like that. So that's the wire I'm going to use. Now I have got to cut a small hole in this side only on this fabric. And my thoughts are, after I cut it, to keep it from unraveling, I'm going to fuse it with a lighter. So this part is going to be kind of tricky. I don't think I'm going to even try to get this part on camera, but what I'm going to use are these. I think these are called embroidery snips, but they're real fine tip scissors. And again, I'm going to have to do this off camera where I can get down here and see what I'm doing, but I'm just going to cut a small hole right here, large enough to put this wire in and feed it up through there. So stay tuned. Okay, y'all, I want to show you what I've done to make this cut easier. As I said, that fabric is 2 layers, right? So I want to be sure I don't cut through all the way to the front. So what I've done is insert a big quilting needle like this behind this back layer of fabric, like that. And now this is going to give me a standout that I can reach and snip with my little cutters, like that. So again, I don't think I can do this on camera, so I'm going to do this off camera, then show you the result. And it looks like I was able to do it. Cut a small little tiny hole. Hello, I'm a hole. And it didn't poke through to this side. So now we're going to see if we can feed this wire through here. I'm going to try to do this on camera for my first attempt here. You got to stick it in the hole. Push. Push. It's always fun. You think, oh yeah, I'm in frame, they can see it. And then I look at the actual camera instead of what I'm doing and I say, oh, I'm not in the frame. All right, looks like we're getting hung up a little bit right there. Now this being this rubber coating, yeah, it's soft, but it does make it to where it's not the easiest to slide. So, because it catches on that fabric. Oh yeah. There we go. Installed. So now, ooh yeah, look at that. Now we're talking. Now, you know, I don't even think, well, you know what? I am going to hit this with just a little bit of heat to fuse those edges. I'm not going to try to close up the hole though, because the wire is now actually pushing past the hole. If I had thought about it a little bit more, I would have probably done the hole a little bit further over just for that purpose. But let me go ahead and hit it with a little bit of heat to at least fuse that hole slightly. Fuse those edges. Yeah, you can see them curling up a little bit right there. Yeah. See how they kind of melted a little bit? And that's all I want, just to keep it from unraveling. And it probably wouldn't have, because I think it's the same fabric that's used here. And you can see that this fabric has been cut, but it's not unraveling. But they could have cut this with a heat shear too, that fused it while it was doing that. So I am going to try this out, and we will cut to a tape of me seeing how this works on my ugly mug. Stand by. All right, y'all. Well, this is the end result. There, get some close-ups. No one's supposed to see me that close. But yeah, you can see that that new wire really helps conform it a lot better. And I can definitely notice a tighter seal just in breathing. To me, that's always a good indicator of a mask. You put a mask on, if you're getting good filtration, you can feel it in your breath, in and out and everything. So yeah, I'm going to try it like this for a while. We'll see how it works out. Got my son's wedding this weekend. That'll be a nice time to try it out. It's going to be an outdoor venue, of course, you know, social distancing and all that. But yeah, we'll try it out. I'll let you guys know if I find any issues with this mod or anything else, and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care. Please take the time to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.